Well, hello everyone. Thank you all so very much for watching us. Michelle, we've got a lot to catch up on. What we
We
got?
do. We do. It has been a minute, guys, but we back. We back. You back to talk that stuff. Big brother today. And I think the last time we talked, Jared was HOH and Jared is no longer in the house. So that's kind of how long it's been. Jared was HOH and he evicted Cam. And I think, no, yeah, Cam. And then it was a double eviction where Corey was HOH. And quickly, Jared went out the door right behind him, and they both came back in the house just as quick as they left. And they had the little zombie universe where they were able to stay in the house a full week. Yet, one of them was able to stay when they do the competitions, and Cam won the competition. And with the competition, they were able to say, okay, the final puzzle, do I want to do it or do I want to allow you to do it to stay in the house? And Cam decided to do it and he won fair and square and he was back in the house. And I think that's where we left off. We left off with that. And yeah, and Cam was HOH yet again, not surprisingly. And he put Mimi and Felicia on the block. And Mimi went home. And actually, that's where we are now. Mimi was just evicted. Yes. And so Mimi went out the door. And so you know how like a lot of the HOH competitions are physical. So we were expecting the guys to just kind of run the game all the way through. But this HOH was one that was mental. So they got something where they could study these pictures. And of course, the questions were based on that picture. So they got down to the final two, and it was Felicia and Bowie.
Who the thunk it?
Who the thunk it? I was shocked because I was like, oh my gosh. And I was thinking like, oh, Felicia's about to win this HOH, especially when I saw the two numbers. So Bowie had like 27 on there. And at first I thought she was being strategic. I thought she was thinking like, okay, Felicia is gonna overshoot it. So I'll just put a random number down here so I can win because I know I won't go over for sure. But what we found out is that she was actually trying to lose and end up winning. Yeah. So she tried to lose. What we found out is that, and I think this is on the live feeds, she put 27 trying to lose. And then she was like, okay, I don't want to look like I'm trying to lose that bad. So let me throw a 6 in front of it. And she was too embarrassed. Like, because remember, it was like a little glare, and Julie was like, can you pull your thing up a little bit because we can't see it? And she said she was too embarrassed to even say what her number was because she knows how bad it was. And Julie was like, all right, 627. And Felicia, I'm not the best in math, I will say. But
I could have done those numbers real quick, and I'm just like you. I am probably worse than you when it comes to math. I am, but I could have, 60 times. You know what I'm saying? And
I was just like 40,000 minutes. That sounds like a lot. And yeah, and so. Yeah, poor Felicia. And I think she was trying because you can tell she had like 60. That's how many are minutes in an hour. So she started off there. And then I saw another 60. And then she ended up with 40,000.
Now, I would have gone over. I still would have gone over, but not by much. I just assumed, hey, they got evicted at a specific time. But it was like I would have been over by like 20
minutes?
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah, you are better than me because I guess because it took me a while to even think like, okay, where do I start? I was like, okay, 60 seconds. Because like when they give you what you should calculate, you kind of try to do it in your head a little bit. So I'm like, okay, 60 seconds in a minute. And then how many minutes in an hour? And then by that time, Julie was like, we need your answers. And I was like, okay. I would not have made it. And then add on like the nervousness, which I wasn't nervous, but I'm just like, so anyway, Boys at HOH. And did you even have an idea of like who she may nominate when she ran?
She's an enigma. She's an enigma. Nobody knew. I mean, like, okay, so it was so funny when she was just like, I just want the other side of the house. The other side of the house. which is 2 people.
Yeah.
Out of everybody that's in the house, 2 people.
And I realized when initially when she won, I was like, who is she gonna nominate? But when people started talking to her and she was just like not wanting to put up obvious targets, I was like, oh, it's gonna be Sari and Felicia, because they're the ones that, you know, will be the easiest to nominate, where nobody will be mad at her, and there's a low chance of them actually winning HOH the next time. So when they were nominated, I wasn't surprised.
Not just that, like, it was an unwillingness on her part to play the game.
Yeah,
this is your time to shine, right? You know what I'm saying? You have this position. This is your time to shine.
Yeah,
use it.
And I mean, yes, people were coming to her. She was getting more information because she was HOH. Yes, but use that, and then this is where you solidify stuff. Like, okay, I need to pick a side, and the clear target mostly because of you got clear targets. These HOHs are being won by like 2 people. And so one of them got to go. If you want
outside of the people that she wants to align herself with.
Yes. And so anyway, the clear target to me should have been Cam. And I do get that he didn't put her up. And, you know, I think she was playing personally. Like, okay, I don't want to put him up because of how
he protected me, so I'll protect him.
Yeah. So I understood that. But at some point, I don't think they would have had a problem putting her up, because I think she was next after, you know, like, yeah. So
at all.
But anyway,
I do have a question. I do have a question. All right. So I don't know. Some amorphous figure is not HOH sitting there at the end, and they have to decide who they want sitting next to them. Are they going to pick her? Are they going to pick Felicia? Are they going to pick Sari? Who are they going to choose?
I do think Bowie's one that they probably will carry to the end, because well, at first they were thinking like she's not going to win competitions, but she's won one. So that may put her a little lower on the totem pole, but she can't say she did anything except for win HOH. And even when she was HOH, she did get out a big target, but it took a lot of convincing, and it really wasn't her move, if you think about it. Like,
exactly,
it was somebody else's strategy that finally got her to move.
So my point there is, if I'm playing this game, I don't really think I want to be sitting right next to her. I don't.
At the end, you don't?
I don't want to sit next to her. If anyone, I would probably want to sit next to Felicia.
Why is that?
So yes, Felicia won. She won it in HOH. However, not a whole lot of people in that game are really rocking with Felicia. She messed up with too many people, right? Bowie, however, everybody likes Bowie.
I think people they don't mind putting Felicia on the block, but I think her social game, like, even though they'll put her on the block, it's still Mama Felicia. Like, she's auntie, she's mama. Like, I feel like I actually feel like people like her more than they like.
Yeah, they do. But would they want to give her this win?
Depending on how petty the jury is and who she's sitting next to. Because sometimes if your jury is petty and they're just like, look, that person, you know, voted me out. You know, basically they think that this person was responsible for me leaving. I'm gonna just vote Felicia. But I don't know. I think it depends on how the jury is. It does seem like these people are very forgiving and loving, though. I haven't quite picked up a super pettiness. Maybe Blue, but
you know what? I think if what's his name? Black Boy. If Jared hadn't gone home, if Izzy hadn't gone home, oh yeah, they'd be very, very petty.
Yeah, that's true.
Because all of them petty.
Very, very much so. So on the way out the door, Mimi dropped a bomb, and I don't know. I don't think it was true per se. I mean, I feel like all of the people were trying to connect with other people, but I don't think Corey, America, and Bowie had an alliance. But she basically come out the door and say, I just want y'all to know Corey, America, and Bowie have an alliance, and they're going to basically try to use y'all to work for them. And
Maybe she saw that there was something opening up for them, and she didn't want that to happen.
Okay.
Throw some pettiness into their game to have everyone, basically be like, what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of juice things up.
And I could definitely see that. But I was just like, I don't think they had an alliance. But they were working together, I believe, at some point or something. But anyway, so at this point, there's like Corey and Cam that people want out. And so Cam, of course, wants Corey to leave. Corey wants Cam to leave. Blue wants Cam to leave. And Matt and Jag are just kind of like, we're working with everybody. So whoever leaves, as long as it's not us. And that's how it kind of was starting out the week. But once Bowie nominated Felicia and Cirie, and she wanted Cirie. Cirie was her target. And she, at this point, was like, it is what it is. Hopefully I win veto so that the nominations to stay the same. I won't have blood on my hands, all that kind of stuff. And to me, like, I feel like you think about blood on your hands when it's the full house. But at this point, it's just like, okay, I don't know.
It's a game.
It's a game. People know that they're going to be targeted at this point. But anyway, so Corey talks to Bowie and Jag, and he brings up like a backdoor for Cam. And of course, she's, like, I can't do it, all this kind of stuff we talked about before. Cam talks to Bowie about the same thing. She doesn't want to backdoor Corey. So the difference between Corey and Cam is Corey was just like, okay, doesn't seem like she's going to budge. Cam was like, Mimi did say something about Bowie working with Corey, and maybe that's why she was so hesitant about putting him on the block. And that wasn't fact. I think she just wanted to like have a smooth HOH, which you never really can have for the most part. You can't unless you're really running the house. So Matt and Jag kind of talk, and they're just like, look, kind of like, what do we want? And they were leaning toward Cam. And it's interesting. We'll see how this week goes. But they both said something like, everybody got to get their hands dirty at some point. And it seems like they both are trying not to get their hands dirty, but they want other people to do the dirty work. So we'll see how this week goes.
What? I'm interested. Between that particular duo, Jag and Matt, who's the real power player there?
It's interesting. Because initially I was going to say Jag, but Matt, it's like, okay, I think Jag is the voice kind of the group, if you think about it. Like, he's the one that goes out to try to convince, and he does the convincing. Like, he's the one that actually does the convincing. Matt will agree with you and get information to bring back to the group. So it's kind of like they both serve a role, but I feel like maybe Jag has a slight
and that's because he's the figurehead, kind of.
Yeah. However, I feel like if they're both at the end, that Matt will win.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because I think just people just like Matt, and he played a better like a safe. He didn't get as much blood on his hands at this point. He hasn't. So
honestly, I think it's Jag's eyes. I think it's his eyes. I think his eyes are not, lifelike. You know what I'm saying? He's always looking like he's sleepy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think people don't trust him.
I think he's like, it is interesting that he's been voted out. Like, he was voted out unanimously, came back in the house, and semi-running the house a little bit. Like, Corey said tonight that people are scared to bring up their name. And it's just like, what? That
people are scared to bring up Jag's name?
Bring up Jag and Matt's name because they think it's going to get back to them, and now they're a target. You know what I'm saying? That's what, remember Corey, he was on the, this was, I think, in the second episode, or last night's episode, I should say. He was on the hammock with Cirie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's when he brought it up. But anyway, it's time for the veto selections, and we know, of course, Cirie, Bowie, and Felicia are playing in. See, I can say Felicia now. Anyway, are playing in the HOH. But Bowie picks Matt. Sari picks Jag and Felicia picks America. So Cam is not picked. So it's like, okay, he's not going to win. So if somebody other than Boy wins, there's a chance for sure if Felicia or Sari wins, they are going to pull themselves off the block. We don't know what the other people are going to do at this time, but Boy has to start thinking about a backdoor, possibly not backdoor, but somebody to replace. So
they play the game.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I think before this, Cam starts talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is where he messed up because they didn't show this on the show as much. I think Bowie alluded to it in her diary rooms that basically Cam hasn't done anything to me. And until I hear something that he's done to me, I'm not going to put him up. I don't have a reason to put him up. And so he ends up like spilling the beans to Jag and just talking about all the red flags and why, Bowie must have something going on with Corey. And when I say Jag went straight to the HOH room.
Run and tell.
Yes. And so that was her, impetus initially to consider putting him on the block. But anyway, and Zingbot comes, I think, before the competition too. And it happened to be a nice Zingbot, this one. But when they go out to play the actual HOH, Otev is Zingbot. It's supposed to be Scramble verse. I'm like, Lord. But anyway. So he does a couple of interesting zings. I didn't get all of them. But America, they zinged her about, she should be arrested for robbing the cradle. They talked about Felicia's wrinkles.
Yeah. Like, really, they were just talking about the fact that she was old.
Yeah, they were just talking about she's old. I'm like, they could have said something a little better, I think. But Boy Jane, they talked about her teeth. And I guess I never... I never thought about it, but this episode, I did notice her teeth quite a bit. Maybe because she was HOH and they showed her more this episode.
Okay, so I mentioned this. I don't know if it was the second time that we recorded or maybe even the first time that we recorded, but I said, that's all she does is smile. All you doing is that's it. That's it. Hello, how you doing, Boy Jane?
At least they're white, but I mean, it seemed like they kind of zoomed in on her teeth this episode because they knew the thing was coming. Because all I could focus on after that was her teeth. Oh my gosh. What did they do? McCall po thing, she got a zing. She wasn't even there.
How you do that?
Oh my God. I'm like, can I just have peace? I'm not even there. How am I getting a zing? And then I thought
not even in the jury.
Yeah, she's not even in the jury. Oh my God. Corey's, I thought he was just the funniest because he had a whole song. A whole song.
Oh, what is it? You're not even attractive.
They came out the gate, guns.
You're short. You can't kiss.
Can't kiss. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so that was kind of funny. Then they get to the veto comp, and that's where they have the same one every season at some point, but they got to bring back the pictures. And not surprisingly, someone athletic won. Felicia actually made it further than I thought.
Yes, she did. 3 rounds or something like that. But who got off first? I mean,
Sari.
They scared of Sari, but she always lose. Come
on.
Now.
And I think it's really her because she's even on Survivor. She was not a comp beast by any means. Seems like she may have been okay at puzzles. I can't remember, but it's really her social game. And she's never won Survivor, so your social game can only get you so far. But she had the wrong things the first time. I'm like, and to me, like go ahead.
No, and she had to decide whether or not she want to slide down. What you gonna do, Earl? Slide down. You having a whole discussion with people. No, girl, slide down.
You wasted time. Come on, come with it. I know with this competition, I don't know. I feel like every season they have it. So what Jag did about pulling them out, to me, like everybody should have been doing that because I mean
this time it was a little harder to hide. You know what I'm saying? Like other times, like it's a little bit easier to hide. Oh
yeah, because it's more like sand or something like that where you can kind of stack them. But he seemed like he went somewhere where there was like a thing, so his was kind of behind there, so he had to run further. But at least he knew right where to go and he could come right back. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Jag ends up winning, you know, and he's gonna use the veto. And after the veto, Cam's is like, well, do you think he's talking to Boy, you know, like, do you think he's gonna use it? And if you do, you know, who do you think? And that's the thing about Cam. He doesn't know how to, I don't want to say humble yourself. Finesse. Yes, that's a good thing. Because I don't want you to be like, you know, but finesse, that's a good way to put it. It's like, you can't go up to the HOH bullying them pretty much.
Telling people what to do, as if he's the one holding all the cards. That's what he does, and he rubs people the wrong way. He looks at people like he's trying to kill them. Yes. And then you trying to tell them what to do. What you think? Yeah. What you think people gonna do?
What do you think people gonna do? And I don't know if he's a Big Brother fan or not, or ever watched the show. But if you've been on the block every time that you weren't HOH, pretty much for the most part, maybe like once or twice, always consider yourself a target. You're a comp beast. You're always on the block. Just assume that people probably are coming after you. Don't just, because for some reason he got really comfortable thinking that, oh, I'm set, you know, and stuff like that. And no, he was a little too pushy. So at this point, that ends the Tuesday. I think they moved to Tuesday. It ended that episode, and they kind of jump into the last night's episode where Cam is trying to convince Jag not to use the POV. And that's the thing about, I know you were talking about Jag's eyes, but yeah, he doesn't know how to lie. That's a good thing about, I will say, Felicia and Sari, they know how to make people feel like, because people feel comfortable with them, like, oh, they're on my side or whatever. Like, Jag does not know how to do that. He's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, just like, okay, well, we know that he's gonna probably put me, or you know, use the veto because they're averting their eyes. They're not like being like they normally are. That's the thing. Be like you normally are, except you got something else in mind. But
Michelle, are you saying you're a great liar?
No, I'm not saying that. But in a game like Big Brother, I can imagine how the social game would work, you know.
Yeah, I will say that you, when it comes to being social, you would kill it. You would kill it.
That part, them competitions though. I've been like Miss Felicia trying to get up. Like that
right. Can we see some clips of her just falling down all the time? Felicia fell down.
Oh my gosh. And I can't wait to see this.
This was, by the way, this was after they talked about the fact that she was in the Army. I mean the Air Force. Oh. Like, come on, like if you went through basic training, come on now. You
should have probably like 30 years ago when she went through basic training.
I don't care.
But I will say that Felicia, for being in her mid, or see, like, what is she, 64?
She has good bounce back.
Yes, she does. Because even like, I just think about what was it? It was something that happened, and when they did the Scramble verse thing before the Zingbot came, and she got up and like ran and start running. Like even now, I'm thinking like, when I just get up, I'll be like, I'll do a swift walk to the Scramble. A nice brisk walk, but I don't know if I'm running anywhere.
Did you see her almost fall down when she was running up the?
I was like, oh, blue.
And this was like right when they were saying, "Come on, Miss Felicia, don't fall," and bloop.
Right. Oh, you said don't fall. Okay.
Yeah, they were trying to tell her, you know, don't run too fast because you.
No, I'm saying like she thought they said fall clearly because she. I'm like, okay. Oh gosh, but so they get to the veto competition, and of course Jag uses it. And what they didn't show in the episode that we got through the live feeds is that Sari actually volunteered to stay on the block because she was like, Felicia has been on the block so many times and she's had to pack. I don't want her to pack again. And so she was just like, Cam is pretty much, I mean, it's a risk, but he's pretty much going home. So I'll just, stay on the block. And so I thought they said also that like Felicia gave somebody a lap dance, like gave Jag a lap dance or something after. I thought it was during the veto competition. Maybe it was some time later, but we didn't see any of that. So I don't think it was like A super duper lap dance. It'll probably like comical, but it'll be nice to see that at some point. Maybe on Twitter or something. I need to see if it's on Twitter. But so now that Cam is nominated, he's like, Matt and Jag threw me under the bus. So he goes on a campaign to try to get people. At first, it was kind of to get him to stay, but then it would end up turning into more like, if I'm leaving, I want them to be right behind me or whatever. And so he first talks to Blue. And that's the thing about Blue. I don't know what to say about her, but I don't know. I feel like, and she is young, but in this game, any information I get, I'm going to kind of believe it, or at least not just totally throw it away. It'll be like,
that's good information.
Like, oh, that's interesting. That might make some sense. So Blue, he tells Blue, some information. She don't believe it. He talks to Corey, and Corey at this point was just like, I don't think there's nothing you can do at this point. And Corey and Cam are both targets, but it's just like, who do people trust more? Who do they feel like will win competitions? And Cam gonna win every time to get voted out. I didn't realize Matt, they did a little segment on him not being able to hear whispers. For some reason, I thought he was totally deaf. I did notice, like, in some scenes, people were talking next to him and he responded, but they were in front of the mirror. So I was like, oh, maybe he's looking at their mouth or something, but I guess he can hear somewhat.
On the most recent episode that they aired, I saw something behind both of his ears, which let me know that he can hear some things. He probably just needs those just to kind of like magnify,
amplify. Okay. And so when people whisper, it's disrespectful, which I can imagine that being disrespectful. But I didn't realize he could hear, so I just thought he was 100% reading lips. And so he got kind of emotional. So they're giving Matt a nice edit to make. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if you're just a casual viewer and you're not watching the live feeds, and I think he's a nice guy or whatever. I think he said some offensive things, not like racially, but more like to women or something. But
really,
yeah, I think he like would call women bees in the house or whatever, like as he's referring to them. It felt like it was something else he said. It was on the live feeds, but in case. But for the most part, I think he has a good heart. He's a good person. I don't think he's like, an
asshole.
Yeah. But anyway, he gets emotional with Jag and Felicia. So that was a little edit about hearing, so people can be respectful of deaf people to not whisper in front of them, especially if they can hear a little bit. Cam, for some reason, I think he thinks he's getting a better edit than he actually is, but it's still not the best edit. But he thinks for some reason Kevin Costner is watching and he's gonna be meet him, be a movie star. Corey doesn't know who Kevin Costner is.
Are you serious?
Yes, he was just like in the diary room. He was like, "Who is Kevin Costner?" But if you think about it, I think about my little 20-year-old niece. I'm sure she doesn't know who he is either.
Yeah, so I get it, but he's a white guy, so you know what I'm saying. Like white guys watch white.
But stuff. I mean, I can't think of what he's been in lately. But if we say, from the Bodyguard,
Yellowstone.
Oh, I don't watch the Yellowstone, so yeah, he should know him then. I forgot about that show. Yeah, maybe he was maybe it's a joke for the diary room.
Which, by the way, on this show we covered Yellowstone. Ain't too many people watch it, but it wasn't Yellowstone. It was 1883 or whatever. Not too many people watched it, so I didn't cover it again. But speaking of, before we get to the end, Michelle and I were talking, and we decided that we wanted to branch out and create our own podcast. Well, it will be led by Michelle. It will be called Talk That Stuff.
Yes.
So Michelle is gonna lead that, and I'm going to be a permanent guest.
I'm my first guest.
But we're gonna do all the same things that we always do. So hopefully by next week we will, we'll get all of that situated, and you'll be watching us from that new podcast.
Yes, and we'll focus. This will be focused more on like the reality show space. So yay!
Which Michelle loves.
I know, I do. I really do. So yeah, excited about that. I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, back to Big Brother.
Yeah, back to Big Brother. Another reality show. So where did I leave off? But basically, let me see. This was funny. This is another reason JAG is not a good liar. So JAG was like, so I know you're telling, we're working together and you're telling me that you're going to put Blue up if you're the HOH. But what are you telling Blue? Are you telling her you're going to put me up? He was like, yeah. I was just like, oh gosh, he didn't think this through. To me, like when you're working the whole house, you got to think about all this stuff. And I think he's thinking about some pieces, but not all of them. But anyway, Cam continues to go on his, parade. He's kind of wondering why he didn't backdoor Corey. Too bad. You wanted Mimi out. She's out. And this is where Cirie tells Blue that she needs to listen to Cam, because she was just like, I don't think he's making this up about the whole JAG and Matt thing. And what they didn't show on the episode, but what actually happened is Cirie told her that she talks to Cam. He tells her, spills everything, and she goes right to Matt and JAG and tells them. And so I think that's Blue's problem. Like some information, you have to be strategic about what you share. Like you have to hold on to some good information, but when it's time, when it's beneficial to you, you release it, kind of like release, but she just spills all of it. And so when she's on the block this week, she'll be wondering, no, I don't know who's on the block, but,
I had a raunchy comment, but I decided not to say it.
Oh, no.
Please continue.
Okay. I want to know, but then I don't want to know. I'm like, oh, no, what is he gonna say? JAG, Cirie, and Matt kind of talk, and he claims at this point that he wants to go to the end with her, Matt, Bowie, and Felicia. And mostly, he didn't say why, but I mean, basically because they can beat them in the competitions. And I don't think he thinks about their social game, how they can beat him at the end, but we'll see. So anyway, I think we talked about that, about Cirie and Corey talking on the mat. We talked about that already. But anyway, they gets to the eviction. And what's the word they were using tonight? You look
exquisite.
Exquisite. That's what it was. Julie was exquisite. Now I will say I kind of like her
outfit.
Yeah, it was just kind of casual, like going out cute.
And I liked her bangs with the did she have like a ponytail?
Yeah, that was because you rarely see her with or even dressed like that, and then with the ponytail. So
this wasn't her first time. I believe this was her second time this season dressing real casual.
Okay, I'm sure she did, but I don't remember if she did, but I do remember tonight because it was
And by the way, did you catch Corey lying?
I was gonna say that. I was like, okay, you must be a liar, because why did you have to lie about that? Because I was like, the world heard you say good, and he look good. A whole lie. I was like, oh my gosh, and they was eating it up like, I was like, oh my God. I literally was like, why did Corey lie? There was no reason to, unless they all agreed to say exquisite, and if he didn't say it, they'd be like, why did you say it? I don't know. But
he felt like he would have been the odd man out.
Maybe,
but so. I mean, he had already spilled the fact that she knew what he was gonna say. So
yeah. Oh well. But Cam is evicted unanimously. Nobody was shocked about that, and he seemed nice. Like he hugged everybody, because the last a couple of people that went out the door, they was just like, we ain't talking to you, or you gonna be right behind me, So, and actually I think, I don't know, but he will seem very pleasant and likable in his exit interview. Like we didn't get to see the crazy stalkerish all kind of that part of
what I want him to do is I want him to go back and I want him just not the live feeds. I just want him to watch the show that we watched so that he could see how he comes across. He doesn't realize how he comes across.
I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I want him to watch a couple of live feed clips too. Just hashtag your name and Big Brother just to see just a couple of clips, see what people saying. And I don't think you're gonna meet Kevin Costner after you watch that. So they go gather back up, and then like there's this crash, and they tell them, something's crashed in the HOH room, and they all, run up there. That's when Felicia falls up the stairs, and they kind of leave the episode like that. In Cam's exit interview, he mentioned, that's why I was like, he was being very neutral, which is interesting. Like, you can't win at this point, just spill the beans. But he was like, I feel like I'm more betrayed by me more than anybody else. It was all him. Like, it wasn't anybody else. Like, he didn't throw anybody under the bus. So it'll be interesting. But he also, when I just thought about this. Remember when he was HOH and he was trying to keep everything under wraps the first time, I think. And maybe that's what he's trying to do so people won't assume who he's voting for. Maybe.
Interesting. Interesting tactic.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, Julie teased the BB power of invincibility, HOH, and the BB power of multiplicity, veto. Spoiler alert.
Hold on. Let me find it. It's been a minute. Bow.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So close your ears if you don't want to hear anything after this. So when we do find out the HOH competition was the cartoon one where they try to match the cartoons, the ones they have every season. And the invincibility HOH is where you're not supposed to know who's the HOH. But it's interesting that they gave the winning time and everybody knew their time. And so to me, like when you all come back together, it's going to be somebody fast. And everybody is saying, oh, well, this is my time. It wasn't me. This is my time. It wasn't me. The person that's not saying their time is the one who is. And even by the process of elimination, you say, okay, it's one of these three people. Because if you just think about just dexterity, getting upstairs, swinging, all that kind of stuff.
You automatically know it's not Felicia.
It's not Felicia. It's not Sari. It's probably not Bowie.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then with the other
it can't be Bowie. It can't be. She couldn't compete.
It could. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot Bowie couldn't compete. So it can't be her. So anyway, they play all that, and we're pretty sure it's JAG. JAG is actually we know it's JAG. So JAG is the HOH, and he's gonna do the invisible nominations. Now, what we don't know is what the power of multiplicity veto is. People are assuming or thinking it may be that they can take both people off the block instead of just one. But we'll see. Because I don't think they've done that before. Have they? Have you ever heard of where?
I can't recall.
Yeah, I can't recall it either. So we will see how this all plays out. And JAG is going to have to show his hands this week because he's told Sari that he's going with her to the end. He
sure did.
Basically, everybody in the house thinks they're working with JAG. And so it's almost like the situation Sari was in earlier in the game. And so we will see how this all plays out. We are pretty sure that Matt is safe. So we know he's probably not going home. And I don't know if he's going to like try to make a big move like he was trying to make other people make and get Corey out. Now, do you think Corey is as big of a threat as they think he is?
Okay, so I don't know if it was the last episode that we saw or the second to last episode that we saw, but basically what JAG was saying was, no, let's keep Corey because Corey is another threat that, like people might want to get rid of Corey before they try to get rid of us.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So keeping him kind of, it seems like exactly. So, and then also, didn't JAG tell Corey that he won? So if he
that's
told,
right. That's right. Yeah.
if he told Corey that he won, I don't think that he's trying to get rid of him, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then my assumption, just my assumption, is that he's gonna put Felicia and Sari back on the block and try to backdoor someone. Who that someone is, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Blue, but I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like Blue is definitely a target this week because, I mean, they were kind of playing with her, but they seem to be pretty, because it seemed like even the times that they mentioned who they would put on the block, she was one of the ones, like, that would come up. So
most definitely
it could be, I don't know if they won't try to like go for America maybe too. I don't know. But yeah, to me, the easiest, which I haven't seen Jag outwardly be like, he would kind of privately try to be strategic, but to actually show his hands, we'll see. We'll see.
We will definitely see.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's Big Brother catch-up episode.
And look, for those people who are watching this, I just want to reiterate the fact that Michelle is branching out. She's going to start her own podcast. It's going to be called Talk That Stuff. I'm going to be a permanent guest. And she's going to be doing all kinds of reality shows. Michelle, which shows are you thinking about right now?
You know what? Like, there's so many things out there. So Love is Blind is definitely popular right now. I don't know if it's too played out, if we're too late, but the season finale or like the reunion has to come out. So I may start with the reunion, or we'll see. But Love is Blind is definitely a popular one. I'm gonna watch the House of Villains to see if it's one that we should do. Of course, I love Survivor. I love Amazing Race, and those are out currently too. We also have like Potomac and Married to Medicine coming. So there's lots of reality shows for us to review. So we will see.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this season of both Potomac and also Married to Medicine.
Yes.
I don't know about y'all, but yeah.
Me too.
Look, if tell us, for those people who are watching us, which shows do you think Michelle should cover? Let us know.
Yes. We love to hear it.
Yes, as always. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Don't forget to kiss the subscribe button, click on the like button, share us on all your social media, nibble on the notification button, and make love to our senses in the comments. Until next time, see y'all.